Hi, and welcome to Visual Journals, Chapter 3. In this chapter, Part 1, we're looking at creativity in a way to sort of expand that in your projects. Part of what you're going to do is research online and research in the online classroom, different types of creative and critical, just creative options. This is a project that Jerry Allan invented. It's from Creative and Critical Thinking, and so I am borrowing it with permission to show you guys a different example of how to expand on creativity. To do this project, you need an orange, and I was surprised by mine. I'll show you pictures later. You need an orange, you need yourself, you need some trust, and then of course afterwards you're going to respond in your visual journal. You also need to be able to take a few minutes to brainstorm. This is going to be a longer exercise. We're going to just work through it together. So I'd be prepared. I'm going to give you a second. You can hit pause right now to get those things. Get a pencil or a pen or whatever, your visual sketchbook where you'll keep notes and brainstorm. And of course your said orange. Are you ready? Okay. All right, first of all, I am going to give you 30 seconds. What I need you to do is write down all the things that come to mind when you think of an orange. So I'm going to set my little timer here. Timer. And we're going to start. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Brainstorm everything that comes to mind when you think of orange. Go. You have 5 seconds. And stop. Okay. Now kind of relax your wrists and everything. Now I want a little bit of trust here too. So I'm walking you through this. Don't look at the computer screen at this first part. Really pay attention to your orange that's in front of you. It can be any type. I don't care. I was surprised by mine. So are you ready? Okay. The first thing I want you to do is to close your eyes. And I want you to experience the orange texturally, completely with your eyes closed, and just feel it. I want you to feel all the bumps, the divots, the gravity of it, and how it fits in your palm. Some of those giant ones where you're just barely stretching your hands around it. Some of them you grasp and almost touch your fingers to the tips. What is that circumference like? How does it cooperate with you? Now I want you to keep your eyes closed still. And put it against your cheek. Your eyes are still closed. Tell me how it feels. What's its temperature like? Bring it to your nose. Bring it to the corner of your lips, even that. So sensitive if you run across your lips just to see how that feels. If it changes, if it doesn't change. How strong is the scent? If you move it further away. Run across your eyes. Does it fit? Does it not fit? I'm smearing eyeliner all over me. Okay, now with your eyes closed, I want you to just scratch the surface with your fingernails, best you can. What is that like? Is it easy to get in there? Is it like is it a fidgety feeling? A nervous feeling? A grasping feeling? Is it easy to scratch? Harder to scratch? Is it cold? Can you smell it better now when you smell it with your eyes closed? Is it stronger? Is it bitter? Is it sweet? Okay, now I want you to actually bite the skin. Now don't but scar the skin. Do you hear it? What's that sound like? Your eyes are still closed. Mine are because I'm looking at you. What does it sound like? What does it taste like? Is there residue on your teeth? Has the temperature changed? How's the touch of it? If you just run your hands across that divot, has it changed? What's the texture like? What's a change in perception of the physical front? How does it feel to you after you've been observing this orange for so long as a whole surface and now you've scratched into it? Does that bring out something new? Stop my teeth. Now I want you to open your eyes and I want you to start tearing off, tearing off the skin. Oh, I'm getting orange all over my computer. How does that sound? Does it come off in huge pieces, small little bits and pieces? What's the inside like in comparison to the outside? What's its texture? Compare the colors, the smells, the tastes. Don't go crazy with that. Is it difficult to pull it off, or is the skin just pull off too, depending on the age or the size of the different type of orange? Can you start to feel liquid to seep out? And once you start getting this peel off, I want you to start looking at how these are packed together. Can you easily see them? What's the surface like? Are there different segments? What are those strings like as it comes together? How is it formed? This is where creativity and critical thinking start coming together, which I love, is the idea of then you start asking the how, what, why questions. How many segments? How is it held together? What is this second membrane? What is this centerpiece for? Where are the seeds? You know, when I got my orange, I started to peel it off and pull open the segments. I realized it was blood orange, which was scared me to death, and I've never actually had a blood orange. So this is our first experience together. After we've looked and we smelled, I've looked at the segments and how it's packed together, these little packets, these little gushy, almost teardrops. I'm afraid to eat it. We're going to bite into it, all right? Now what does that bite look like? Try not to get on the computer. Mine's a tiny bite. Maybe if you're more ambitious and take a larger, just jump into life. Some people nibble. How does it get caught between your teeth? Your experience of it. Did you just brush your teeth? It'll change it completely versus is this the dessert of your meal? Is it gushing? Is it pouring? Is it dry? The color, the smell, how this all comes together. Just look at all those parts, this assemblage of that. It's really kind of amazing. What I want you to do now is set your orange down, or you can continue to chew on it as you do this, but I'm going to go back to that 30 seconds again, okay? And what I want you, reset? What I want you to do is now list all the things that you experience as orange. So think of the orange experience. You've seen, felt the exterior. You felt it against your cheek. You've smelled it. You've scratched it. You've seen the interior, the exterior. You've seen how it's assembled. You've tasted it. You have just an infinite amount of just experiences to reach off of. So no longer is it just our perception of what orange is, but how one experiences it. Later you can take this from the orange's perspective, from an ant's perspective, from a decomposer's perspective, from a marketer's perspective. So you can expand on this further and further. And these are all part of Jerry Allen's creative and critical thinking, but I want to adapt it for you for another process and something I go to when I get stuck. If I ever get stuck for an idea, I reach to an orange. I'm going to give you another 30 seconds. And again, list all the things you think of when you think of orange. Okay? Go. Let's see. Five seconds. And stop. I hope that helped. It was another experience to do stuff on. Your project, you're going to take this and apply the way that you experience orange. I want you to apply it visually in your visual journal. How do you experience orange? All the different ways. Either it's a composition just using the color, you're illustrating it itself, you're deconstructing it in a graphic sense. Are you, oh, I don't know, painting with the actual orange and smearing it across the page and pulling images from there. See where it takes you. And again, thank you, Creative and Critical Thinking, for letting me borrow this exercise for you guys, but I just wanted to offer it. And good luck with this week's projects. I'll be catching up and grading bit by bit, but it's really nice to see all your posts now finally all together in one place. It's much easier to look at. All right, guys, have a great night. Bye.